Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta.
A little slow there. It's like you're getting your grip.
I was trying to do a little bit of a dramatic pause, make it sound a lot more interesting and engaging, and make that state portion pop out of Atlanta. I don't know. Yeah, I lost my grip on the beer. That's what really happened.
Happens to the best of us.
So welcome back, guys. First time in the past 3 weeks. We've all three been here together. So, right. Hope you enjoyed your political party, your Black Panther party you went to.
Yeah.
What?
It was great.
So we had a good time. We had a couple of guys from ECU podcast, the Sports Objective, join Tim and I here to talk a little bit for about 30 minutes or so about that game. And they thought they were going to win that game, man.
They were pretty sure about it.
I actually went onto their show on Thursday to kind of give our side of the thing, and I stuck around a little bit after they were done with me, and they were kind of giving me some crap, which is fair. Everyone should give me crap. I'm very deserving of crap.
You stirred the pot a little bit there, David. Just a little bit.
You're always so kind to opposing fans when they're on our podcast or you're on their podcast, and it's like, I shoot the shit with you, like even off camera here, and you're even a little nice on here. In person, you are like, I'm like, what is this, David? Where are you at, man? Like, go hard.
When the camera's off, I'm a little bit slightly nicer of a person. Well, my wife listens to these things, so I'm in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble for my hobby because my wife's listening. Also, thanks for listening, babe. Appreciate it. Getting those numbers pumped up big time. But I forget what I just said, but I was suggesting episode title out of that whole thing. But yeah, anyhow, they did not take kindly to my position on them in the American, the fact that Georgia State belongs in it. But I think on Saturday we showed that there's one team that looks at be playing at a higher caliber of football than the other. Tim, you were not at the game. I got to hear Ryan's thoughts while we were in the Center Park Stadium. What'd you think of the game, watching it in your cabin retreat? I don't know, Camp David, wherever you were.
Camp David. Bryson City, North Carolina. Anyway, I thought I was impressed. I think we started out really fast. Except for that first pick.
Yeah, we gave up points faster than anybody gave up points before.
So fast. 3 scores in 2 minutes?
Well, yeah, because I was walking in late because I tend to drink before games. Thanks, Ryan, for the tailgate. We'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, so I have actually missed kickoff both weeks for our home games here, or our 2 games we've had. And I walk in, and I was walking by, and I just see them run it back for a touchdown. I'm like, wait, we had the ball? What? I'm like, oh no.
What kind of Georgia State hell is this?
Georgia State is back.
I sat down and watched a score and was like, woo, we scored so fast. I can't believe how fast we scored. And then I looked at the scoreboard and I was like, we're tied?
But it was something absurd. It was like 2 minutes and there was 3 touchdowns scored in that game.
I was four plays, I think, is what it was.
Yeah, it was a total of 4 plays. Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like that's butt fumble territory.
Yeah, that kind of stuff does not tend to go in our favor, but I'm going to take it every single time. I wrote down all kinds of notes and brainstormed over the past few days of what we're going to talk about this game, but I really got nothing, man. This was just a cool game. It was fun. The thing that I find so crazy about it is we've been harping on Fuquay defense for the past couple of years now, and his defense did not give up a touchdown. The defense did not give up a single score in that game.
He's living up to his promise that he made me, and he's got to continue that every game this season.
Yeah, if we can not give up a touchdown.
Well, I don't think he promised that, but I mean,
no. But we were all excited about the defense after the Ulala game too. We were like, "Holy crap! What is this? What is this? We've got a defense!" And then all of a sudden, they came out against ECU and played even better. I mean, they gave up like one big play.
Yeah, one big play. I mean, obviously they were able to get a number of field goals in there, but if you can hold the defense to field goals, I don't care about that at all. Yeah. I guess special plays is the area of improvement. And that's what everybody was saying. Like, our special teams are garbage. All right, you know what? They faked a field goal for a touchdown late in the game. A botched punt led to a punt six. What do they call it? They call that a punt six. That's not that's not a kick six. It's a punt six, right? Whatever. Yeah, I'm not.
Did you see their coach's quotes after the game saying that, he thought they got themselves in a good position to like come back or something? I'm like, what game were you watching, dude? Like that's like the worst coach speak I've ever heard.
Well, I don't know if he's been buying into the Atlanta tradition here, or watching too many Falcons games or something, but that seems to be like the going trend on social media, like during the game and then like even afterwards. We're talking about another Atlanta fourth quarter collapse, comparing Falcons, I guess you can say Georgia in the national championship or whatever. But I'm like, we won by 20 points. And even if we didn't get that last second touchdown, we won by 13 points. This was not a collapse.
No, we dominated in every aspect of the game throughout the entire game.
There was a trick play. Okay, you won on a trick play, and that's only going to happen one time in the game. Sure, we made a mistake on the punt. Okay, but other than that, you got a really, good at pick six an hour ago.
So we had some good special teams practice, right? I mean, not the practice you want, not the right side of the coin, but I mean, second half, they only outscored us by 2, so we kept up with them. It's not like we collapsed or anything like that.
Right.
Ryan went to a circle. All right.
Well, yeah, I didn't care what he had to say about this anyway.
So I will say in the game, Quad Brown, to me, looked fantastic. Then I looked at his quarterback ranking afterwards. I'm like, well, he did have the 2 interceptions, so I guess that pulled him down a little bit. But I thought he did a really good job reading the defense and taking what they were giving him. And he made some pretty spot-on throws that we don't get those throws every year.
Yeah, I get you on the interceptions and everything, but if you scrolled a little bit further over in that stats, his quarterback ranking, I put it down here. Where'd I put it? It's like 156 or something. His quarterback rating was absolutely ridiculous.
You sure?
Yeah, where did I put it?
ESPN says 68.8. I don't know. Maybe ESPN's wrong.
Yahoo had 156.8 for his quarterback rating.
I like Yahoo. Yahoo.
Yeah, we're going to Yahoo.
ESPN better.
ESPN hates us anyways. By us, I mean Atlanta.
So, I mean, Quad Brown played really well. And I also like Dustin Coates, that one run where, he could have sold out and just gotten tackled. He's like, no, I'm going to juke and I'm going to score. And he did. And I was like, all right, I like this team.
It was very easy for him though. Like I was watching it and I thought their defense just missed a lot of assignments and like didn't seem to care to get him. Like so when he juked, like nobody even bothered trying to like follow him. Like they were just like, all right, well he juked, so touchdown.
So we'll watch.
Yeah, it's like, well that was cool, I guess. Touchdown.
Well, to be fair to our offensive line, our offense on there, what we did hear from the guys last week was this was a very, very, very young ECU defensive line. They were saying that when they played UCF 2 weeks before, that it was some of the guys' first college football game ever, and the others was their first game as a Pirate. So it was a very, very young line that we're probably going to see much more experienced lines going forward, but still, the confidence that our guys got from that game, the confidence the fans got from that game. I'm not going to credit that to anything other than a dominating performance by the Panthers. That was just mind-numbingly fun to watch. It was just great.
And if we take like a 15-yard gain and it comes down to a 10-yard gain, like that's still an explosive offense, no matter how you look at it. So
49 points. That's like,
yeah, I'll take it.
We can score, apparently.
It's fourth in school history for number of points scored, which I did look that up because somebody was asking on Panther Talk. We actually scored 52 points twice last year.
We actually broke a record for the first half. That's the most points we've ever scored in a half. 35 points.
35 points.
Yeah, our record was previously 34 points against Savannah State.
Yeah, perennial bottom dweller FCS program dropped out of Division I football. We scored more points on an American Conference team than we did that that has been Savannah State.
That record looks a lot more significant now. It used to be Savannah State, you just ignore it, and now you look at it and you say, "What? That's an AAC team. That's pretty good."
That's the P6.
Yeah, I like it.
Is there like a P6B? Can you be like, okay, it's every Power 5 conference has their Vanderbilt or their Duke or there's something like that. I guess that's actually someone posted this on Twitter. I think it was Twitter, maybe it was Reddit, I forget. But they said that every conference has a UConn, and when they're gone, someone must rise to fill their space. So basically saying the ECU is the new UConn of the American.
Poor guys.
I love it.
I did it immediately, and it's something that I've hated when I've been reading. Everything's been like very ECU centric. It's been very like, well, they must suck. It has nothing to do with anything to do with our players being like any kind of good. And it's like, come on, guys, like we've been playing pretty well, you can give us a little bit of credit for the win.
See, Ryan, that's the thing. I thought about this earlier today. The silver lining for us being such a horrible program over our short 10-year history is that when we do beat somebody that we're not supposed to, Tennessee, East Carolina, man, that makes their fans mad.
It does.
They get so upset, like, oh my God, we lost to Georgia State. Where even is that school?
Not just like losing by 20.
20. That is another good point. Yeah, Zachary. Yeah, the D played great. The D played phenomenal. I'm not going to complain about that whatsoever at all. Let's see what happens as the season goes on. But yeah, D played absolutely ridiculous.
50
literally lights out.
Giving up. Come on.
Yeah, 50. That's another.
What Georgia State team holds a team to 50, right?
Yeah, that's another record. The fewest yards allowed comes in like behind Western Kentucky, which was number 1 in that bowl game, where I didn't even realize this. That game was years ago. We held Western Kentucky to -2 yards. -2 yards in rushing in that game.
They had to do everything in the air.
I had no idea about that game. I didn't get to watch it, so maybe that's why I didn't realize that. And I wasn't doing a podcast where I needed to talk about the game 3 days afterwards. So, yeah, we did have a little bit of a tailgate. We actually tailgated a little bit this week.
Oh, yeah? How was that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Ryan was nice enough to invite us and a few others over. We had some pizzas. The Cibolas were there making the pizzas for us.
Ooh, fancy pizza.
Good breakfast pizzas. It was awesome. And then we had some few others join. So I'm just going to go ahead and, Ryan, this week or going into the next home game, which is like a month from now, I'm going to put your address in the description of the show and tweet it out on Twitter, and so we'll have everybody come join us at your place.
No.
I'm sure your wife will have no problem with that whatsoever at all.
I was going to say, I think we kept it at a pretty good number, so we're going to try to keep it something similar, I think. But yeah, no, it was great, right? We had a nice clean bathroom, and I cleared out the cars from the driveway, and we had the whole driveway, and my neighbors came out and came over, which was cool. And
I like how Ryan makes it sound like he's got, an auto dealership worth of cars in his driveway. I cleared out all the cars, Well,
all 2 cars.
We were 300 yards deep in our driveway, 3 lanes wide. I cleared them all out so we could from there to the tailgate. But that was good. It kind of gave us a little bit more of a true pregame feeling, even if it was just for a couple of hours before heading into the game. But that was good.
The next home game is what? Halloween, right? Did they move the Halloween or did they move it to Thursday?
I feel like that game has gotten moved multiple times. I think as of right now, it's Coastal Carolina on Halloween. That's Saturday. We don't know what time it is yet.
Sounds familiar.
But it was like, I think it was originally scheduled for the 30th, like that Friday. Mm-hmm. And then they moved it to the 29th, and then moved it to the 31st. So depending on which site you go to, I'm getting conflicting results, but I think it's on the 31st.
Probably another nooner, right? We love nooners now.
It's going to make sense to be a noon game because even though we're probably still in a state where people should not be going out and doing things for Halloween, people are going to be going out and doing things for Halloween. So schedule a noon game and get people to come out to that, then go do whatever heathen activities they want to do that evening. Like
Atlanta, though. Atlanta is probably going to be pretty good and shut down. People have been respecting a lot of that. So
by what you're saying, it'll be scheduled at 7:30 then, not noon.
I know.
If it makes sense at noon, it'll be at 7:30.
Best case scenario is it's going to be a 3:00 game, but I have to imagine that ESPN dictates all of this. If we want to get on anything better than ESPN Plus, it's going to be another noon game.
Should we set up Battle for the East, right?
Should we set? Well, Coastal's killing it so far this season. We'll talk about them in a little bit, but that has the potential to being a very, very big game for the Sun Belt East Division. So,
have you seen us getting any respect? I know we were at the bottom of most people's East rankings, even let alone Sun Belt going into the season. But Ulala was near the top, and Coastal was not. Scott called that early, but they weren't really at the top of most people's. But now they're probably near the top.
Well, if there's one thing I can count on you, Ryan, week to week, is when I put together about 10 or 12 pages of show notes. We'll be on about 1 or 2, and you'll jump right to about 10 or 11.
Nice.
So,
do you want to talk about page 10?
Yeah. So make it a fluid show. We'll come back to this again. We'll talk about it now as well. Yeah. So the rankings, standings.
World famous power rankings.
24/7 Sports came out with their first week of Sunbelt rankings, and Coastal Carolina, they ranked as number 1. First place in Sunbelt, followed behind nationally number 23 ranked Lafayette Raging Cajuns of Lafayette. So they're getting some respect. They're getting respect at least by the 24/7 sports writers.
They're getting trendy respect, right?
Good.
I mean, they actually made it on a Sports Center game day. God, what's that crazy guy? The one that he does all he has the hammer and stuff. What's his name? Pat
Thor?
McAfee?
Yeah.
No. Well, yes, Thor. No, he doesn't believe in Coastal, so I think it's just he's firing them up.
There's so much that goes into ranking of college football that is based off of a precedence that's been set for years and years in the past. So, if you look at it right now, Appalachian State in the 24/7 sports rankings comes in its 3rd place. I don't think Appalachian State's looked that great, and I think they're getting credit for how great they've been in the past, and people expect just a bad game or two they've had is the reason where they are. And Georgia State does come in 4th behind them, so getting a little bit of credit there for the way we've played in our 1-1 season so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matt McAfee is the guy I'm talking about from Memphis. You should know this.
Yeah, I know everyone from Memphis.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
He comes on and talks a bunch of smack basically about teams. So he was talking smack about the Chanticleers on Saturday. I was like, don't fire them up anymore. We don't want them winning everything.
Well, I thought it was funny. I saw on Twitter an American athletic fan Twitter account asked what the best uniforms were in the Sun Belt, and they included us. They included Coastal, I think App State. I can't remember their school, whatever. And Coastal's actual athletics account replied back, not even a question. And I wanted to put something snarky about, because everyone has teal in last place. Come on. No one, if you don't wear that color out in general, just because it's a shirt that looks fine, then, no, it's not a good color. So no one wears teal. No one just walks into a department store, sees a teal shirt and goes, that's a cool looking shirt. And they walk in there and go, oh, I went to Coastal Carolina, that's my school color, I will wear that. No one wears teal. I don't even know what teal was before Coastal Carolina.
Yeah. I think subjectively it's us. We've got the best uniforms, but if I was looking at it from an outside observer's perspective, in some sort of objective light, I think Appy probably.
Black and yellow.
Clean.
The yellow. Yeah.
The picture they included of Georgia State was actually one of our uniforms that was blue and black combo. It's a years old uniform. My comment back to them was, you didn't even include our best uniform in the picture that you included.
All
there.
Blue,
all in.
All blue from head to toe. Matt helmet blue.
I think I saw that Twitter thread. I think the author of it said he liked the blue and black combos.
It's a good look, but it's not our color, so it's problematic.
Yeah, actually, speaking of uniforms, back to the ECU game, we debuted that new helmet sticker or stickers. I guess it's plural stickers because you got a different one per player because they have their number in red on the side of the helmet. How did that look on TV, Tim?
It looked fine.
He never noticed it. Don't lie, Tim. No one noticed it. No one saw it. You didn't look at it. We didn't look at it. Didn't make a difference.
It'll never go away. It's burned. It's burned into my eyes.
Add it to another set of the Georgia State logos, the cornucopia of logos.
I think just bring back the script Panthers. Why not? I mean, just start in there.
The baseball Panthers?
Still the baseball one in there.
I like that for baseball, but I noticed that Tulsa.
Not for football.
Tulsa's logo is very much that script thing as well.
It is.
Yeah. So our buddy Zach was paying more attention to the game than you were. He says it looked good on TV.
It looked fine.
Not my fave. He didn't even notice it. He didn't even.
Not my fave. Not my fave. I did send a picture of it to David though.
When you score 49 points against an American Conference team on TV, you're going to go with what works. So we may see more of that.
Yeah, dude, I don't care if they were wearing piss yellow helmets. It's fine. If we win by 20 points every time, let's do it.
Yeah.
I did message David about it during the game, and he wanted us to lose. Just gonna throw it out there.
That sounds like me. I don't remember that.
He's like, it's still the ugliest thing ever. We should lose. And I was like, I'll take the win.
I don't think they had these before, but they had $4 beers on Saturday, and
wow,
it was not a good look.
Like anything good $4 beers, or just what they had left from the last game?
I liked it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it was called. It was like Naganis or something.
It was a weird. It was probably whatever Max Wine and Beer were like. Oh, we found this in the back. We haven't sold it in 15 years. Here, we'll give it to you. Sell it for $4 a beer.
It was pretty good.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it was a drinkable beer when you're sitting outside watching your football team, kick some ass.
Yeah.
So,
$4, and could you use your season ticket holder credit for that or not?
Yeah, but there's no cash value, so you had to get 2. And
so you got to drink fast.
Yeah.
What a shame.
So wait, they're encouraging the people to pound beers. All right.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think? The end of the game, we were up by 13 points at this time, and it's 3rd and 5 on ECU's 5-yard line, and we, rather than take the knee, win the game, we chose to hand the ball off and run it in for another touchdown to make it that 20-point win. Was that necessary? Unnecessary? We've had so many times where teams have run the score up on us, and they run it up one more time. Was that good play calling, or was that kind of just being a dick?
I think it was payback for the coach speak earlier in the week.
Good point. I didn't put that down to talk about, but yeah, there was the defensive coordinator was talking a little smack about Georgia State earlier in this week, wasn't he?
He was. So Elliott's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna run it down your throat. Done.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes the guys feel better. You get some more stats and start feeling good about what you can do to that team, and you can start pointing now to the 20-point win instead of the 13-point win, which is always a win. But the only reason I don't like it's not an unsportsman thing. It's one more play that you could hurt your players.
True.
I agree. I do think that for all those people that were complaining that we were letting the Pirates get back into the game, it's kind of a nail in the coffin. No, we weren't.
Yeah.
We pulled our foot off the gas. We could have scored at any time. We were not trying to, as Ryan said, get our players any more injured in that game. We were trying to run the clock out, get our players home safely and whatever. But yeah. All right, you guys going to put up a couple of gimme points on there, a little garbage touchdowns through your crap and block punt? All right, cool. Yeah, we'll shove one down your throat in the game.
We'll balance that out a bit.
We'll balance out our special teams blunders with a touchdown, which is fine.
Yeah. I don't even see who got that ball. Was there something was there some drama with Destin Coates that he got pulled in the second half at some point or something like that? I thought I was we were talking about it, but I didn't do enough research to figure it out.
Second half went downhill for me quick. I'm going to be honest here. I had no idea we even did what you just told us we did. I had literally no idea we ran it in with 5 seconds left.
So they were really good $4 beers.
Yeah, actually, on that point, Prue has. I'm not even going to try to say that word. If someone wants to take it for
Narragansett.
Yeah, that beer.
That beer sounds good.
Yeah, it's a beer they had there.
It was tasty. Anyway.
Yeah. So how much faith you got in this team going forward? Do you think this was just taking advantage of a young defensive line and we can, chalk it up to a one-time type thing, or you think that we really got something special on our hands? And, like we said, or the episode title 2 weeks ago after the Lafayette win was we're never losing again. Does that hold true? Are we doing still believe?
That's it. Undefeated.
We're never
Sure.
losing again.
I think we're going to see some offensive woes, but it feels a lot to me like our defense is the real deal. Like they seem like they were in position all the time. It was the right people in the right place. I mean, we were always just there was always 3 guys around the ball. I mean, it was crazy how much we just called the right thing every single time. And I got to chalk that up to play calling and some other skill. I think, like I said, the defense, their defense, I saw stumble a little bit, and they didn't seem as good. And I think our offense is good enough, but we're going to see them stumble a little. So,
what do you think, Tim?
Outside of App and the emerging Coastal Carolina, and obviously our rival of the South, I'm fine with every other game on the schedule being a W.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to coaching, because now going into this season, we had said that people asked us how this game was going to go. I don't know. We had no idea how the season was going to go. Is Quad going to, be a year older and a year more experienced and come out there and play the way that we want him to play? Is Fuquay's defense finally going to do something? We have no idea. Even with our kicker, we had no idea what was going on there. Destin Coates, whether he'd be able to handle the load himself without Seth Page. So we've answered a lot of those questions to an extent in the first 2 weeks. Now teams know how to play us. They've seen what we can do. They're going to be game planning for all of these things we've been watching these past 2 weeks, or past 2 games. So it's going to come down to coaching. Make sure the kids actually can still execute and don't get frustrated by anything when they come back at them and things are a little bit more tougher in the game. So, but I agree with you, Tim. Looking at the rest of our schedule, App State looks vulnerable. Arkansas State, I think we can totally push over in a couple of weeks or a week and a half from now. Coastal is the only team on the schedule that really scares me at this point. It probably should be Troy because Troy sucks.
No, you allow.
We can't ever beat Troy, so in anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. But yeah, I think there's a very good chance. I mean, we could honestly be looking at not calling anything right now, but we could honestly be looking at Georgia State's first divisional title and challenging for the championship this season. So exciting time to be a Panther.
Unfortunately, because of our first loss, it might not be at home, but that's fine. Neither here nor there. We play better away.
Yeah, but who wants to go to Lafayette, Louisiana? Ugh.
Yeah, I guess we'd have to go at that point, right?
No, no.
I would try to make that happen.
It's one of those kind of things. I realized people talk about, they realized they were an adult when they got excited about buying a washing machine or something like that. I realized I was an adult when someone ordered tequila shots, and I said, no, I don't have to do that. I don't want to, because I don't want to. I don't want to go to Lafayette. I don't want to go to Louisiana. I sure don't want to go to Lafayette, Louisiana.
All right, fair enough. I probably would do that.
What if you tailgated at the border and just drove in for the game and drove back out?
Then you'd be tailgating in Mississippi, and that's.
I did actually do that for the Falcons game in New Orleans. We stayed in Biloxi.
Nice.
We drove in for the game and drove back that night. No hotel stay and everything. But to my tequila point, I did actually do a tequila shot at Woods Chapel before heading into the game because someone bought it for me. So, but they spent an entire $2 on it. I had to do the shot. So, one point I saw on the Sunbelt message board I had not thought of before, this perspective of the whole thing. saying we've had a number of teams that moved up to the FBS level in this past 10 years, including us. Southern, Appalachian State, USA, Coastal. I mean, all Sun Belt schools. Like Liberty, technically, I guess. But the comment was that all these move ups have hurt ECU the most in college football because a talent pool of FBS prospective students now have a lot more choices. And apparently Greenville, North Carolina is not as nice of a place to go to as these other 6, 7, 8 schools that have come up, maybe, possibly. Not as attractive. I don't know. But that's just a perspective I hadn't thought of. You think there's any credence to that, Tim?
I think so. I mean, obviously you use this point to tell the ECU podcast guys that we belonged in the American, right? Which they loved.
Well, I mostly asked you that question because I knew if I asked Ryan, he'd say, I don't care. So,
Ryan, what do you think?
About what again?
No, I can totally see it. I mean, if you're an 18-year-old and you're trying to pick a school and you're looking at places you could go and, that P6 is attractive, but it's Greenville, North Carolina, which I had to look up on a map. I'll be honest. I didn't know where it was.
The first time I saw Greenville, I thought it was that,
the other one.
No one knows which. So the weird thing about North and South Carolina or even North and South Dakota, they're not related. They just share half of their name with each other. But if you don't live in those states, if you look at them, they're kind of the same thing. I didn't know that there was 2 Greenvilles. I didn't know there's one in South Carolina and one in North Carolina. So I saw Greenville. Oh, wow, that's actually a pretty close drive. Nope, that's on the other side of the coast. That's not coast, but whatever. It's really far away. So, yeah, I had no idea where Greenville. I didn't know there
Definitely not on the coast. It's kind of like southernish distance from the coast, maybe. I don't know.
But, yeah, so anyhow, East Carolina, you can suck it because you got Georgia State taking all your recruits now because we do recruit in the Carolinas almost exclusively.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, almost exclusively.
Atlanta is in South Carolina, if you didn't know.
Apparently so. All right. There were some cool stats about the game, but we're not a stats thing, so I put them down if you guys want to go. Oh, Ryan, you brought up something. We got some awards, some conference award this week.
Yeah, research.
Well, I need you to since you wrote down the name, I'll need you to say the name, but we got a defensive player of the week. Dontavius? Was that right?
Antavius.
Ant-Man.
Strikes again.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. Ant-Man.
Congrats to Antavius Lane, who got defensive player. He's got one of the 5 interceptions that Georgia State's got this season, which is I don't know. He's first in Sun Belt, leads the FBS or something like that. We're doing really good.
That pick 6 was beautiful too. I mean, I went back and watched I saw that and I was like, well, hell, I should go watch the highlights and rewatched them, and it was beautiful. Beautiful pick 6.
There was one stat that kind of stuck out to me though. So the defense that we've been questioning so much is 8th in the FBS on third down defense. When teams we're opposing are on third down, only 25% of the time do they actually convert. That's huge.
That's impressive.
That's a good defense.
We're not used to that kind of stuff. We're not used to it at all.
I'm used to teams going for it on 4th down.
I actually had sort of slowed down my cheering on third down because I was really sick of losing my voice and hurting my throat and them just converting anyway.
Yeah, well, not this season.
Not this season. It's been working.
Cheer your lungs out, man. Cheer them out.
My throat. Yeah.
Or every 4th time you can be quiet, but 3 out of the 4 times just be as loud as you possibly can. So you goes to the record books as a win against an American conference. We're 1-1 against American teams.
Woo.
1-2 technically. I don't think Houston was in American I don't think American was a thing when we lost to Houston, so that doesn't count. Bye week this week.
Ooh.
So insert bye week joke here. I hate the bye week jokes.
We're gonna win. Our defense is gonna dominate.
Yeah, can't lose this week.
Complete shutout.
Yeah.
We usually make the other joke though that we're worried about bye might win. I think that's the usual Georgia State joke.
Exactly.
Yeah,
These guys are looking dominating this year. But
They're going to sneak past us with the W.
I think I did this last year when we came on the bye week. I said I hated the bye jokes, and then we went on a rant of different bye week jokes. It sounds familiar, but I killed a lot of brain cells that night between then and here. But yeah, so we don't play again until Thursday the following week. So it's a bye week with a early game, but then there's that Saturday we don't play afterwards. And then I think we're away again. I mean, we don't play a home game on this Saturday until that October 31st or whatever.
Oh yeah, till the end of the month. Yeah.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I told my wife that on Sunday morning. I'm like, well, good news is I'll be here the next 3 weeks. I mean, or maybe bad news for you. I don't know if you want me here or not. Good news after that, though, is once we do have Coastal down here, we have games every week until the end of the season. But that kind of changed this week as well because they moved back the Sun Belt Championship to the 19th of December now.
I saw that. Why did they do that? Just to make room for other games getting made up, or?
I think it's a chance for Sun Belt games to get made up. There was not a lot of information in the announcement, so I don't know if that's a chance for us to reschedule like our Charlotte game or not. Or,
I doubt we do.
Or pick up. Well, so Charlotte's AD was asked in an interview about rescheduling the game, and he said not optimistic about scheduling that game. So, I mean,
we're not answering the phone.
Ooh, that's rough.
Why not?
We don't need it.
Does it have Coach Hunter's extension on it?
No, we'll take the W, Tim. We'll take the W.
Well, I'm thinking that's exactly what it is. They don't want to play that game after they saw how we handled Eastern Carolina. Like, well, why do we want to do that? That doesn't.
I would think they would want the home game. That's why they would do it. I mean, unless they're planning on not having any. I don't know what their attendance looks like if they're like filling their stadium or anything like that. But typically, like you need 6 home games. So
yeah, well, currently Conference USA still has their championship game scheduled on December 5th, and it would be December 5th or December 12th that we would have open. I don't think Charlotte's playing in the Conference USA championship.
I was going to say they can replay it contingent on if they're going to be in their own championship.
I think that's safe.
Yeah, I don't think Charlotte thinks they're playing in the game. But
we could make it up afterward. Like if there's no bowl season, which I think could happen. Like a lot of bowls could probably cancel because I don't think there's a lot of money made there. I don't really know why we do it. But like we could possibly just do it then, right? We could do it after. There's no conference implications anyway. So we win our championship or go to our championship, win or lose against them.
I think this year anything goes.
If we just make up our 1-year bowl game.
If we want to play a game in March because we want to play a game, do it. Who cares?
Yeah, Charlotte, come on down.
Yeah, fine.
It's our own bowl game. None of us are qualified. Come play.
Our spring game next year will actually be the Charlotte makeup game.
Hey, that'd be really cool. I think we should do some of that. So.
Yeah, a scrimmage, a preseason scrimmage or a spring scrimmage, something like that. But yeah, preseason, spring season, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So talking about the other teams, there were Arkansas State got blown out by Coastal last week, 52-23. So Coastal has a high-powered offense. They're firing on all cylinders this season. So Scott said they're going to be good. Was that one of the things he said, Tim? I think or one of you guys said that.
Yeah. That's what I said. He was calling it when he was on the podcast. He, before he'd even seen a game, he was like, "Coastal's gonna surprise everybody."
That guy should probably write a book about or a magazine about.
Yeah, he could make some money off that. If didn't give away for free.
What would he call such a?
At least write a few pages.
Yeah, what would he call such a periodical?
I don't know, like something about like the pages of Sunbelt.
Yeah.
Oh, Sunbelt pages. That'd be good. Yeah,
it's not bad. We should check to buy the domain.
How much should he charge?
He should charge
at least $2. At least
less than
$6. I promise he's not a sponsor, everybody, but you should check it out.
I'm a sponsor of him. But yeah, so Coastal is hosting Arkansas State, and I think that'll be a good good judge because we play Arkansas State on Thursday, the following Thursday. So that's a short turnaround for Arkansas State. And if Coastal blows past them, then and then we're able to beat Arkansas State. I don't know if we play them more competitively. I don't know. We'll get a good idea about how we're going to play Coastal based off that Arkansas State game. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll talk about Arkansas State next week.
I'm confused. I feel like you're talking about games that have already happened.
Yeah, this is last week.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm confused.
Coastal already beat the crap out of Arkansas State.
Yes. So when we play Arkansas State, we'll get a good idea about how we're going to play against Coastal.
There you go.
Thanks for keeping me honest, because the Yingling Lights.
I was just like, what the hell is going on right now? I was like, look at the schedule. I'm like, are they playing them twice? What's going on?
Yeah, it's like Troy and Middle Tennessee.
Coastal has Louisiana. What a matchup this week.
That's going to be a good one. That's the one that everyone's going to be eyes on. But there's a stupid hurricane coming through because, Lafayette lives in the worst region in the entire United States. So we don't know if that game's going to happen, or if it gets moved to Conway. Louisiana State moved their Missouri game to Columbia.
Saw that, yeah.
Or potentially, depending on how the hurricane moves. So it's possible that Lafayette moves their game to Conway. Whatever. But that's the one game. That's the one Sunbelt game I'm actually interested in watching. Like, I'm never actually interested in watching a Sunbelt game if Georgia State's not playing in it. But that's one that has implications because, like you said, if Coastal comes out and beats them, then maybe there's a chance that home game Sunbelt Championship could be in Atlanta, though.
Yeah, I mean, so before, as a previous Georgia fan, before it was like this is how Vandy feels, right? They're watching like Auburn play Georgia, and they're like, who cares, because it's not going to matter to us. But now we're watching, Ooh La La play Coastal, and we're like, hey, this matters. We actually need to be rooting for Ooh La La, which is pretty weird.
No, we're not rooting for.
I'm gonna go reverse. Yeah,
no, reverse. We're rooting for Coastal because
we need Coastal to get a loss so that we can be number one in the East.
We can still be number one in the East if we beat Coastal.
But with a loss to Ooh La La ourselves, it'll be harder.
If we win out in the East,
it's Sunbelt total. It's the Sunbelt record, not the Sunbelt East record.
We would still need a little help. We'd still need Coastal to lose one more. But if we're
going to root for them to lose on Saturday.
I'm not. No, I want Coastal.
You want Louisiana to have more losses.
I want Louisiana. Sorry. I want Lafayette. I apologize, everybody. I want Lafayette to lose 2 games, and I want Coastal to lose 2 games in conference.
Okay. I don't care. I don't care what Lafayette does from here on out, as long as we beat them in the championship.
Well, but if they have 2 conference losses and we don't, we only have that 1 to them. That means we host the conference championship in Center.
I don't care. I'll beat them at their house. I'll beat them here. That's fine. I'll beat them. I'll beat them.
We will definitely.
Right. You've heard it here first, Brian. We will.
I just realized I was doing it, and I was like, "That's not."
You're doing what you hate the most. You're using "we" as in reference.
No, I'm okay with that. I like "we." I'm fine with "we." I've always been fine with "we." But I was a little weird.
You are a little weird.
That's fair.
But yeah, well, so I think that there'll be a lot to talk about as far as conference implications after this week's of games, even though there's only a couple of them. But yeah, one other thing is that Georgia Southern barely outlasted Monroe, who's horrible, absolutely horrible. So great. Other than Southern playing Lafayette well, they play like crap this season. So
yeah, they're hurting. I don't think they're happy.
I saw it on Twitter. Somebody said that they're playing like so far this season. They have played like exactly to the level of their opponent.
That's actually what I wrote down. Are they playing to like what they think the team's going to come out and do? Like they thought Lafayette was going to come out and be gangbusters, so they came out and they played gangbusters. They expected to roll over Campbell and roll over Monroe, and they played like absolute garbage. Granted, at this point, they got to know that we're going to beat the hell out of them, so they're going to come out and play their best game. But
sure.
I like the way that they're trending right now. They do not look good, and we do. So screw those guys.
I think I don't know. Did you catch the last play of the Monroe Southern game?
I didn't watch that game.
They played they had to play on college football final. So Like, he was inches from the end zone to beat them with no time left on the clock.
Yeah.
QB ran it. It kind of looked like he got in. I feel like the Sun Belt did a disservice and didn't give them the win for some reason. But, I don't know.
That's the one school they're trying to get out of the conference. Monroe's that's the school that's folding.
No reviews.
I did see a replay of the last passing play though, with the wide receiver who was in the end zone wide open, and he got overthrown by like 6-7 yards. I mean, it was nuts. And I mean, it's like, what are you guys doing? This is terrible. He
Trying to lose.
There was no pressure on the quarterback, and the wide receiver was wide open. He overthrew him like crazy. And it's like, what is this? You should have won. This is why people don't like you, Monroe.
Biggest question: will they win a game this year?
I
don't know.
Not like that.
Do they have an FCS opponent on their actual schedule?
Another one?
Oh, did they already play one?
They had UTEP, but they gave UTEP their first win in 8,000 years.
Well, I think I said this last week. If we talk about them not winning any game whatsoever at all, then that's the game they'll win. It's against us.
Liberty, they'll win that game. They're only
they are coming up this week.
20-point dogs.
I'll root for them. Yeah.
I'm not rooting for anything that comes out of Louisiana.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's me. So we talked about rankings a little bit. ESPN, FPI had the same top three, just in a different order, but they did have Georgia State at fourth. Fan rankings, if you look at the message boards, because there's not a lot of Sun Belt rankings going on, Georgia State's getting a little bit of credit. There's even some people that had us, third. Wow, impressive.
Ooh, third.
Which is fair though. We have 2 3-0 teams in the conference. Being behind them with 1-1 record, I'm fine with that. So it's
Ulala Coastal than us.
I mean, according to just some stupid people on the internet, yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, no.
I mean, I'll take it right now.
People on the internet do not like to give us any respect, so I'll take begrudging respect.
We don't give ourselves respect.
That's true.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's been a rough go, man.
Right now, we're excited about Fuquay's defense. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks. Hopefully, he keeps it up. Yeah. He has a promise to upkeep. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you are really going to hold him to keep that promise to you, aren't you?
I am.
I think
promise, man.
If our defense goes to shit this season, I think that Tim's going to go up to Fuquay and be like, "I'm tearing up our friendship bracelet. We are no longer friends. This is, you're dead to me." But speaking of rankings, then the Thursday night podcast, a bunch of people online, they were all like, advocating for Lafayette to get ranked again after dropping out last week. Lafayette did not play a game. They did get back in their rankings at 23, along with Iowa State, who they beat.
That was nice of them.
Yeah, but I know I'm alone on this one. I literally don't care about any other school in the Sun Belt. Like, if you're not going to rank or not, I don't care. Sure, whatever. I'm not going to use this platform, which we really influence a lot of people with, to say that we need all the other Sun Belt schools to do so gangbusters. If they do gangbusters, great, let's beat them. But I'm not going to talk about that crap, which I'm kind of talking about it right now.
Yeah, you talked about it for a while now, by yourself too. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird to do that and then be like, I'm not going to talk about it.
I realized how stupid I was sounding halfway through that, and just thought I could talk my way out of it. But
all right, moving on.
I mean, I think they're ranked just because Iowa State beat Oklahoma, right?
So you got 10 going now.
That legitimized their win, blah, 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 and they're ranked. The end. All right. So we'll beat them this weekend, FYI, and they'll be out.
So there's only 3 Sun Belt
games.
Stop talking, Tim. God damn. So there's 3 Sun Belt games this week. We already talked about Coastal at Lafayette. Lafayette is a 7-point favorite in the game, which I think is a lot right now. The way Coastal's playing, I think it's I would take Coastal in that game, but I gave up. I gave up on tracking that. That's the game I want to watch. I will watch that game if it's aired this week, if it comes on, if it happens. But they have that hurricane that's going to be messing everything up. So I don't know. You guys agree this is the game we're watching? We watch that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not doing literally anything else. So.
All right. You guys come over to my house. We can watch the game together.
Oh, right on.
I have
Now
not
I'm ashamed.
cleared that with anybody in the family
You
yet.
better do that soon before she listens to it tomorrow.
Oh, she's like in the episode. She's in the 30s. She's trying to listen to everything in the history.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, she's good. She's really good. And then we got Monroe at Liberty. Liberty's a 19-point favorite over Monroe.
Pull it out, Monroe, somehow.
I'll take Monroe on those points as well, personally. I don't think they're going to lose by that many to Liberty. And then Arkansas State is a 13-point favorite over FCS Central Arkansas. But that's cool. So Arkansas State has a game this week, this Sunday or Saturday, because Arkansas State's in the NFL now. Arkansas State plays on Saturday, and we have them on Thursday. So a short week for them, even though they're playing FCS. That's cool. I like it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you want. Like, you're right.
Arkansas State, probably. I don't know.
Probably with the points too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other game, I thought there was only 3. There's 4 because it was a different page. Texas State at Troy. Troy's an 8-point favorite in that game. I like Texas State in this one.
I like Texas State as well.
I think Texas State is way underrated. They played so well. It's just their record doesn't show it. They're only 1-3, but they played 4 games, and they played all 4 of those incredibly tightly. So I like Texas State in that game a lot. But
with you.
Yeah, cool. And we talked about the Sun Belt Championship game, date change. Probably not getting Charlotte in there at all. One bit of basketball news came out over the week. We got the conference schedule released, which is kind of strange, isn't it? Because normally don't we get the out-of-conference schedule released first? But I guess the world's
upside down.
Screwed over. So that's a better phrase. Upside down. I like that. And typically I dive into schedules like really big and I try to put like a lot of effort into figuring it out. It's probably one of the more just like general standard, nothing really wrong with its schedule that I've seen come out from the Sun Belt.
That should be the goal every year, right? Like not like for every team, just make it like that.
Yeah. I mean, so I'll voice my negatives.
Which are?
We start the season 4 games away. I don't like that. I mean, it's a lot to be away in a row, but it's over the course of just 2 weeks.
I was gonna say, so what does that mean? We're gonna play in
like 4 days.
2 weeks in? Yeah, like that's not a big deal.
That's not horrible. And assuming there is an out of conference schedule, we've already would have had some home games up front. So
there better be.
That's no big deal.
Does that mean we're not having does that mean so usually we open the season with like a couple of terrible, like not even just the exposition games, but there's usually like 1 or 2 really bad teams, right?
All right, exposition games.
Did I do it wrong?
Yes. Save that.
Great. Good.
The exposition games.
Awesome.
We do normally open with cupcakes, but that part of the schedule is not released.
I would bet that if those schools are willing to play, we probably do it.
In a closed gym. No one there.
I see. So the conference schedule is 4 games away, but it's not necessarily how we're opening the season.
Right. Correct. We don't know how the season opens yet. We just know how the conference play is at this point. But so I don't like being 4 games away, but I don't think it's that horrible because we turn around and we have 3 games home. Then we're away 3, home 2, away 2, and then we end the season with 4 home games. That's the best. I mean,
I like it.
4, yeah, I'll totally trade 4 games away to start to have 4 games to end the season at home because the sports arena, as you know, well, the sports arena is what the sports arena is, but we win there a lot.
We do. I'm
okay. The one thing that to me that really stood out as the most weird, as the Sun Belt has seemed to bought into that Georgia State, Georgia Southern rivalry, and we've always had our last regular season game of the season. Yeah, it works. Then the Southern game, whether it's here or whether it's there.
Right.
And we have them in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the season. January 18th, we host, and then January 30th, we're there. It's 12 days in between the 2 games. That's just weird to me.
It's a quick turn.
I actually went on to the Sunbelt website today when I was trying to find out the Defensive Player of the Week thing. And it was funny because like on their headlines, like you have to click into things for this week, but it still had stuff like it still had the, Georgia State, Georgia Southern game from last season as like one of their headlines.
Ooh,
it's funny
you remove that.
It's funny.
It was like the third one down.
It's funny you say that because I actually went to their site today to look up what the regular season standings were of the basketball teams from last year. And they don't even list the 2019-2020 season as an option on their history. It's like it didn't finish for the tournament, so we don't know how to put it into the computer. So that's Sunbelt, New Orleans office logic for you. I mean, what kind of employees can you hire in New Orleans to work for you there? They can't figure out how to do an incompleted season. Just put it in a random school. But
I'm curious if they're going to let people in the sports arena. That's what I want to know.
They better.
I don't know if they'll like keep us all on the upper deck, maybe, on both sides.
Well, guys, I promised you guys that I'll make a sacrifice and I won't go so that you guys can spend more time there.
Thanks, Ryan.
Socially distance a little bit better. I'll decrease the density in the building by 1.
No, I think you can tell. I mean, granted, the sports arena is like a closed-in gym.
It's like a closet.
I get it. But, I mean, you could spread out your season ticket holders over the course of the entire thing. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows what the world's going to be like by then? Maybe we don't even have. Maybe
hopefully things are better by then anyway. So
I hope so.
I think people are getting more and more, 1, comfortable, but 2, used to precautions. So they don't mind going out doing things, and they don't mind keeping distance and doing everything.
For Decker. Yeah.
Yes, it'll be maybe that's our episode title, Upper Decker.
Nooners and Upper Deckers.
Nooners and Upper Deckers. The season that was 2020. But no idea what the out of conference schedule is going to look like. No idea what we're going to have. But it was kind of nice to get a little bit of information about the conference schedule this bye week to have. I mean, we spent an entire hour talking about East Carolina. I thought we were spending all about basketball.
And we got to be prepared for March 5th through 8th in Pensacola.
Yeah, do you think we'll still end up doing Pensacola? Pensacola?
It's not even a hard one, man.
After a few beer, it is not the easiest word in the world. How often do you say Pensacola?
More often than you, apparently.
Pensacola? Is that like pina colada?
Do they have a soft drink in there called Pensacola? Because you should totally have a Pensacola.
Oh my God.
You know what? If there's any breweries in the Panhandle of Florida, they should have like a spiked soft drink called Pensacola.
David, you're cut off. No more kids. The dad is going strong on this one.
Pensacola Porter. Done.
You don't control me. Please don't text my wife right now. But do you think we still play the tournament in Pensacola? I would assume so. Probably. It's probably safe.
Yes.
Safer taking all the teams down there than it is to fly teams back and forth for
the Sunbelt Pensacola bubble.
Man, we need to have a Pensacola soda. I like this idea. Like a little like a citrusy type boozy, like a spiked Sprite type thing. Pensacola. There's got to be one of those.
Just keep going.
Right.
Oh, I can see the number of watchers dropping off of Facebook.
So we'll hit up other sports and end it, and we'll talk more about Pensacola in last call. But
Congratulations.
Men's soccer got their fifth win of the season today.
All right.
Just before we went on air, whatever. 5-0. They beat Mercer for the second time. Since last week, they beat UAB and the crap down south 2-0. That's awesome. They've got Coastal coming up, and next Tuesday they'll be playing UAB. So men's soccer doing well, very well.
What about women's soccer? How are they doing?
Not as well, but doing well. They're 3-1-1. They Friday at Troy, they tied 1-1 in double overtime. Oh, I guess if you tie, it's double overtime. But yeah, 1-1. Sunday they went to double overtime, but they actually won the game against USA. So
Nice.
yeah, and then they play App State on Thursday, which is behind them in the East, and Coastal, which is behind them in the East. So yeah.
Urban soccer has been strong for a few years now. I feel like every year they have a good start and end up in their competitive in the tournament. I feel like they always sort of fail there, but
at the championship game, it seems like.
Yeah,
tournaments are tough.
It's Atlanta. I mean, they're an Atlanta team. It's probably not even their fault.
Yeah, if it's one game, we're fine. But if it's one game to end it all, no, that's not our strong suit whatsoever at all. That's not our side. So women's soccer doing well, 3-1-1. I'll totally take that on the season. That's a good soccer score. Tim, your resident soccer expert.
They haven't lost. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
and they haven't lost in a while. So.
Right. Volleyball not doing so hot. They're 2-5. But the weird thing about volleyball is I went to look and see where they were in the standings. I don't know if this sport is supposed to be played earlier in the year and like they're just now figuring out how they can play games in the pandemic, whatever. But there's 3 schools in the conference that have not played a single volleyball game yet. And then there's Lafayette, who's played 11. We've played 7 games. But
all balance out.
And to make it even worse, Lafayette is 11-0. They're having So, and we do not play them this week. So, anyhow, best luck to the ladies of volleyball. Do something there. But that's all I got on other sports. Unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about.
Nah.
Sweet. Let's bring it in. We're just over an hour here. So
nice. Perfect timing.
Thanks, Tim. Tim, was it John Weaver saying 10 points?
They got 10 points total. 3 wins and a tie.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Tim, for being here. Thanks to the guys that watched at home. We're going to head on to our last call, talk about this, find out if Ryan knows what an exposition game really means, because we don't know what it means. I like that I actually made fun of myself.
It's a colada.
I couldn't say words for the longest time, but I'm going to hold Ryan accountable for his one exposition game.
It was pretty bad, though. It's pretty bad. But you know what? I went back and I looked up exposition just because I knew like it was wrong, but I wanted to see what it was. And like, it's not terrible. They could be called that. Like, I'm not totally off.
Yeah, but they're not called that.
I know, but they could be. It's like games to kind of like see who you are, to like learn about who the team is.
Very good conversation for last call. This is what for those who've not listened, this is what I'm not gonna say this is what we talk about, but this is the crap that we're supposed to be talking about. Anyhow,
we go on expositions in last call.
Expositions, and sometimes they're exhibitions. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for listening. Check out last call when it comes out on Friday, unless you're a patron. It'll be available to you tomorrow. And we'll talk to you next week about Arkansas State. Short week.
Bye, y'all.
Go Panthers.